Hello, once again. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. Let's go.
Yeah. Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Yeah, once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. Hey, man, you know what's going on. So, first of all, salute to the WCS supporters, man, the full time, day one. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate supporting the channel. And, mad love last night, man. Thanks for the ones who, actually, approached me and everything, show some love. Appreciate the grind in the trenches and everything. I'm glad, boxing is picking up in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, it's good to see that, we have another main event down here with some prominent top tier names. You know, it brings a lot of energy and excitement to the city. You know, we need more boxing media to dig a little deeper into trying to get these fights out here, no matter who they are. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be Shakur Stevenson, Jameer Herring, Javante Davis, or anybody else. Yeah, in order for us to bring some shine to the Atlanta boxing scene, we need to, speak to the boxers that's on the come up, that's climbing up a ladder. Please, you know what's up. Also, I want to give a shout out to, Top Rank coming in town, man. Putting on a show. It's been a while since I worked the Top Rank card, but goddamn it, I missed it. You know what I'm saying? Like I missed that shit. I got some videos I'll be posting periodically that I was able to get. I did post some pics on IG. The whole encompassing part of the media evening was just seeing the fights. That's like the first big card I've been to since I had COVID and everything, and it was good just to sit back and like I was going around trying to do this, that, and the other, but the card wasn't as heavy as a Javante Davis card coming down here. So you didn't see a lot of other fighters. The ones who was down here was pretty much attached to the team. It was affiliation there. So yeah, I can see them coming down here to support their people. Terrence Crawford, Bomac, Steven Nelson, Stone Cold was in the building. Richardson Hitchens, some guys from the USA team, O'Shea Jones, of course, Brian Norman Jr. Shout out to Maybach Hot. He was on the card. He won a 6th rounder, went the distance. He lost a unanimous decision. We're gonna talk about that. And another fighter that was that's from GA, Haven Brady. He was 3-0. He ended up taking his first loss last night in a tough fight against a Mexican fighter. And I really want to drive the nail home about these Mexican fighters, man. Don't be shocked when you see these Mexican fighters that you don't know popping up out the blue. They've been waiting their time. They're all over the place, man. There's so many of they're just waiting their time to shine. That's all. So you got to be very, very careful on, climbing the ladder to make sure there isn't a rung missing. You might, be looking up at the top of the ladder and then taking your step by step and find out it's a rung missing. You step through that and you end up crashing back to the ground. That's how it is when you're trying to get to the top, man. It's never easy. But hold on for a second. But shout out to the ones who tuned into the fight down here in Atlanta, Georgia, man. Real talk. Salute you. Appreciate you. Bruce goes on deck. How you feeling, bro? What's good with you? Soccer training club on deck, man. He say salute, bro. First time here. That's what it is, man. Enjoy yourself. We got a lot to talk about this evening. Appreciate you pulling up. And I definitely, like always, I want to get the input of those individuals who actually tuned into the fight. You know? So let's get to the thumbnail. Shakur Stevenson. A big deal. He improved his record to 17 victories, 0 defeats. He's still up there. Coming off his last two performances, which a lot of people was considering them boring, you know what I'm saying? A bit underperformed. It's boxing at the end of the day. Styles make fights. And the Shakur that you've seen in here on the championship fight was much different than the Shakur you've seen in his last two fights. And he put out. Man, Shakur came out the gate, man. Established, was touching Heron over and over again with that jab up top to the sternum, to the body. And then when he would open up, when Jamel Herring would, slow down just a little bit, Shakur opened up his combinations. They were stiff, they was punctual, his timing was on point, and he really set the tone early in the fight, man. Shakur really set the tone early in the fight. So I put a post on Facebook. I was like, man, this is seeming too easy. Like Shakur is making this looks too easy. This can't. What am I watching? This fight in the first 3 rounds, it was just looking too easy for him. I'm like, Jamel, you better than this. I've seen you perform at a higher work rate than this. What's going on with you, baby? What's good? Like, come on, man. It's no way that this is going to be a wash like this. The main event, Shakur is going to come in here and wash you like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you the defending champion, the reigning defending. You have to put out more. So, in the 4th or 5th round, in small pockets, Jamel Herring was able to increase the tempo a little bit. Put his combinations together, be more aggressive, stay close to Shakur. Don't allow him, Shakur to get distance, because when he had distance last night, man, his punches was on the mark. It don't matter if it was a him doubling up on the hook, 4-punch combination. After he set those combinations up, he'll stab him to the body with the jab, just to compliment it. It was beautiful. It was just to compliment it. Like he'll land a 3 to 4 punch combination, and then before he even step up out the pocket, boom, pop him to the body with the jab. It was beautiful work, man. Shakur had an intensity on his face that it wasn't something that he was full of anxiety, or he was just like aggressively stressing himself out. No, he was focused, man. Shakur was up there focused, man. He was zoned in, and he put on a hell of a show. He had Jamel Herring swole early in the fight, and I was like, damn, Jamel, he's looking his age in this fight a bit. When he did try to counter early, he was looking slower than Shakur. Shakur was on the end of Jamel punches, and he was just outside the distance. I was saying, damn, this dude has a timepiece tonight. I mean, like, you cannot clock in better than what he was doing. He was seeing everything Jamel Herring was throwing. And I was saying to myself, damn, I hope Herring picks it up, because this would be quite embarrassing for him to just let Stevenson walk over him like that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted better for my comrade. Even though I was going for Stevenson, I wanted Jamel not to go out in such a bad way, because I know it was still somewhat of respect and love between these two. They had been in the same camp. Never no animosity, no public beef, or none of that before this fight. So, I wanted Jamel to start picking up the pace. Shakur is the real deal. Absolutely, Bruce. Shakur is the real deal. But real talk, real deal. People should start paying attention to him. He's a real deal. He can box. And I know people are gonna start linking, two black fighters up together. They're gonna say, "Oh man, the way he was boxing yesterday, it'll be good to see him and Devin Haney." Well, guess what? Shakur didn't really say, Devin Haney's name. He said Javante Davis up the line, But I'm pretty sure if that fight presented itself, however, the 35-pound division stay the way it is, the roster is, the attendance, we don't know. But the good thing that I did hear him say, and I hope he keep his word, is he said he wants to unify the 130-pound division. He said he want to do what T.O. did at 135. I can't blame that man for wanting to challenge himself and build up his credentials the right way. Like, you're talking about a guy who was a part of a group of star fighters, even when they was amateurs. There's so much promise to these fighters, right? He was part of the ones who got the silver medal, and he cried. He was like, damn, I wanted that gold, man. I wanted that to be my defining moment from amateur to professional. That's what I wanted. And I still remember looking at Stevenson cry, and I'm like, man, I don't think he's gonna allow himself to ever be put in a position like that again, where he's hurt like that, all because he didn't do enough. Last night, when it came time for him to, go up there and challenge for his second divisional crown, he made good work, bro. Real talk, good work. Sir Cannon on deck. World Combat Sports salute. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like button. Yes, sir. King Mitch on deck. What's good with it, Mitch? Combat, what up? Appreciate everyone for pulling up today. Man, it was a long night. I ain't get in at like 3. I had the post-fight presser and everything. I had to get back in the groove. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little off. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my settings back. Like photography and videography. With photography, I can get a lot more done than I can videography, because with videography, you can't really record the entire fights and put them up on YouTube like that, because it's copyright. You don't want to get no copyright, but you can take pictures. So, the pictures that I have in my thumbnail is pretty much the ones that I took early on, in the fight card. I couldn't take pictures of the main event and stuff like that. They already have photographers. But I was able to get some pictures of Xander Zayas, Evan Holyfield. I really wanted to get some pics of Stevenson versus Herring. I really did. I also got some pics of Ali Wash, man. And I had some behind the scenes stuff, man. I have some behind the scenes that you just have to pick up when you wandering around talking to people. You know what I'm saying? I know the hardcore boxing fans was like looking at the fight card and they understood it, but they didn't understand it. I know cats on here in this live chat was like, how can Ali Wash want to know how can he be on the card higher than Xander Zayas? And people need to understand how much politics in, involves boxing. It's so many politics in boxing, man. How can a dude that's 1-0 that fought a fighter up out South Carolina, a MMA slash boxer, how can he come in here with a fighter like Xander Zayas, who is the Puerto Rican sensation, and he's on the rise, and he just picked up what I believe is 11th victory. He fought 4 times in 2020, and this was his 5th time in 21, and he's scheduled for a December bout already. They mentioned it during the press conference. So Xander Zayas will have 6 fights this year. You know what I'm saying? Dude is full speed, bro, for real. So let's talk about the Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring. What's next for Shakur Stevenson, man? I felt early on he really set the pace. His speed was just too much for Jamel Herring. Too freaking much. Not only his speed, but his reflexes was quick, sharp, crisp. His eyesight, his vision, focus, everything was there for Shakur Stevenson, man. He was standing right outside of Jamel Herring's. His distance to fight Jamel Herring was perfecto. He knew what he was doing in there. His eye was wide open, and he was throwing those shots. This is what I like. He was throwing his shots with conviction. Like he had damn good cardio. Like he was throwing his shots with a purpose. You know how people be flicking that, like you get Lomachenko sometimes, he'll just be flicking that left hand. You know, that that right hand out there, boom, boom, 12-3, 12-3. Or you have fighters with touch jabs. No, everything. Shakur Stevenson wasn't even in rhythm. Like he wasn't even dancing. If you look at the way Jamel Herring was working himself on the inside, moving, he has to come in with a rhythm. He has to come in with a distraction. Stevenson was just waiting. And then whenever, I don't know if it was familiarity they had in training camp, but whenever Herring would throw off that rhythm, it's almost like Stevenson knew. Like he had very good defense majority of the fight. So for the first 3 rounds, man, he was just landing at will. Herring was a punching bag in the early part of the fight. And then he started to get some pep in his step, man. He started to say, you know what? Let me give you that Ito. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you that Carl Frampton work. You know what I'm saying? Like he started picking up the pace and look energized. And he started landing some shots on Shakur. But it was almost like at the end of the round, it wasn't anything to the point where Stevenson looked like he was in trouble. Stevenson just, okay, if he want to take the lead, I'll let him take the lead. I'll box off the back foot. So, all right, cool. Switch it up a little bit. He had some okay success, but not too much because, Stevenson was countering him well. Very well. And once Shakur picked up the pace again, it just seems like Herring, he was breaking down right in front of our eyes. Like those punches was having their effect on Herring. His gas tank, it wasn't like Herring's gas tank was running on fumes or anything, right? This is something that goes into the brain, the neurological process. When you're getting punched and you're older, and you might be a little bit older internally from being a boxer, mentally you start to wear that just a little bit. Like when you're getting punched in the face, the combination sets that Stevenson was putting together was landing on Jamel, and we don't know how Jamel was taking that. All we know, he was taking punishment. He kept coming forward. That doesn't mean he wasn't hurting. It just means with that cut on his face, the blood was dripping and everything else. He was trying his best to survive and keep from being embarrassed or knocked out. He would have kept fighting. Marines motto: ready to fight, ready to kill, ready to die, but never will. Jamel Herring was in there fighting for his boxing life, and he fought through the cut, but ultimately, when Stevenson started standing him up, and Jamel was posing by force because Stevenson was landing those hard shots, he wasn't moving, he wasn't doing anything. Guess what? The referee was like, "Hey, I gotta close this out." You'll live to fight another day if Herring still is in the sport, if he ain't retiring. Live to fight another day, man. Ken said, great card. Keep me into it from the first fight until the final stoppage. Yes, sir. Kept you into it. Yes, sir. I agree. They have to move those cards up to late on the East Coast. Oh, um, you know, and I felt the cards was going by pretty good. I didn't think the cards had a long intermission to it. Real talk. Every time I turn around, when a fight was ending, another fight was on deck. L Dub in the building, on deck. What up with it, man? The Boxing King Archives on deck. Salute. WCS, what's your thoughts on Shakur being in the mix between 130 and 135? And possibly if he can make 126 pounds, how quick will he get to tank? Well, to answer your question, very, very good question. To answer your question about 126, Shakur is not thinking about 126 pounds right now. He's thinking about unifying the 130 pound division. When asked about fights at 135, he mentioned it when he get around to it. He mentioned Gervonta Davis and himself potentially locking up the line, but nowhere close. Like he didn't say nowhere soon. He just say somewhere up the line. He think that fight would be epic. But right now he has his eyes set on the 130 pound division, which doesn't include Gervonta. Gervonta's WBA title is vacant, and Chris Colbert and another opponent is about to fight for that. And then, of course, you know who he called out. He called out Oscar Valdez again. He wants the Oscar Valdez fight, man. He wants the Oscar Valdez. Look, if Shakur Stevenson comes up with that performance like he fought Jamel Herring, him and Oscar Valdez fight will be absolutely fire. Oscar Valdez, man, I like Valdez. He's a tough dude. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to him in person several times before. He's a solid fighter. Is he quick enough to make it competitive against Shakur Stevenson? It all depends on what the game plan is, to be honest. I want to see that fight. If Top Rank decides somehow, some way against it, or it's not happening, it's a duck. It's a straight up duck, man. That's a fight that everybody want to see, a unification bout. Let's make it happen. Let's make this shit happen, bro. Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez for 130 pound junior lightweight unification bout. Let's get it in. For real. Let's go. 4YT on deck. Salute, man. How you feeling? To answer your question, Archives, about his mix at 135, I'm not even considering that right now because I don't think he's going up there anytime soon. Not yet. He didn't mention it at all. He didn't seem like he had any type of interest or goals. His entire focus is to sweep and collect all the 4 belts. He already has 1. He has 3 more to go. And now the difficult part of 130 pound is the WBA and the IBF right now. It's pretty easy. Like IBF is vacant and shit. the WBA, and the only real belt, that's up there with a champion that beat Miguel Burchelt was Oscar Valdez. So of course we want to see that next. But I say give or take 135 pounds, we won't see him up there for another year or two. I'd be surprised he moved up there before then. For real, I don't see Shakur Stevenson moving up to lightweight division anytime soon, man. It has a lot of heavy hitters up there, but he wants to unify. He wants to be undisputed. He wants to be like his boy Terrence Crawford. He wants to be like who he said Teofimo Lopez, what he was able to accomplish. Why not? Herring never faced defense, speed, and pinpoint shots like that. I totally agree, man. Jamel Herring was being outworked like you wouldn't believe. When I seen his eyes start to swell so early in the fight, I said he's in trouble. Unless he has something that we didn't expect him to have. Like he just has this, like we underestimated who Jamel Herring Superman powers really is. Like when this was going on, I just didn't see a way that he can recover. I said, can he get better? Can Shakur degrade from the speed and the accuracy? You know what I'm saying? Is it possible for him to all of a sudden take a turn for the worse in this fight versus Jamel? I didn't see it. And then I was saying to myself, is Jamel capable of shifting gears and turning up on and stun on Shakur Stevenson and shock him? I didn't get that feeling, man. But I agree with that, man. Jamel's jab wasn't strong in the early rounds. Jamel kept missing punches. He seemed discouraged as the fight went on, and he kept missing. And Stevenson made him pay. Solid assessment. I was sitting ringside. I didn't see him get discouraged too much. It's just that he couldn't do anything about it. Like to me, he looked positive. Like he was trying to make something out of a bad situation. He was listening to his corner. He was trying to he was trying to turn around and have a resurgence in there. He just couldn't do anything. Like Father Time caught up with him. Stevenson was just A1, man. He was a boxing scholar. It's just both of these guys are elite fighters, but when it come down to last night, the young lion just had more. You know what I'm saying? He had more vigor. Shakur Stevenson, man, for him to put as much sting and mustard on his punches and just keep that throughout the fight, it was impressive, man. Like, it was very impressive. I ain't gonna lie. It was impressive to see him put on a beautiful display of the sweet signs. It was. It was. Real talk. Andrew Charles on deck. How you feeling, bro? Salute to you. Most refs will stop the fight if a fighter is outclassed. Shakur outclassed Jamel. Yes, sir. You paying attention, man. But you got to learn your refs too. That's a huge part of speaking on boxing. You have to learn your referees. Look up the referee on that fight now. Some of these referees, they can be wishy-washy too, dog. I mean, just looking at the Wilder Fury fight, they changed out the referee to Mora. I mean, referees play an intricate part in the fight. Remember that always. Some referees will stop a fight prematurely. Other referees will freaking stop it too late. As he should. I saw Valdez against Burchelt, a weight drain Burchelt. Shakur beats Valdez. Yeah, man. Shakur, another thing there, Ken. At the weigh-ins, Jamel Herring looked bigger than Shakur Stevenson. I say Herring looks bigger than Stevenson. Jeez. Okay. All right. But I also factored in age. And then I say, is age going to be an underlining factor in this fight? Is Jamel Herring, is he going to show his true, boxing age? Not his his born date age, but his true boxing age, because boxing does add life. I mean, add years to your life. Especially if you come up through the Olympics, you have all that amateur, all that sparring, all that punishment you take outside the ring, in the gyms, preparing for a fight, all the rigors and training that goes into this shit. It adds years onto your life. So, according to how your neurological system is set up and how your physical anatomy handles all the injuries, it's all, I don't know, it's all different calibration throughout life. Some people get punch drunk earlier than others. Some of those individuals who aren't punch drunk, some of them have taken worse punishment than the ones who are punch drunk, who has pugilistica, who has dementia. I mean, it all depends on who they are, man. Shakur has been calling out Oscar Valdez. Yes, sir. Same way Campbell hadn't bum ass become main event. Okay, man. Let me talk about this. I'm gonna get back to the comments, but let me sweep through some stuff right quick, right? So um Ali's grandson was the main event, and he fought Charles Stanford. Shout out to Team B Lee. I actually interviewed Ali's opponent, because I like talking to the fighters that's unknown. They still competing, but they're unknown, and especially a fighter that's stepping in there with a fighter who has so much history. Yeah, it's Ali. He's the grandson of Muhammad Ali. He has so much history to his name. For him to be 1-0, 1-0, and be in front of Xander Zayas, you know what I'm saying? He's a good kid though. Like, he still have a lot to learn. But he went in there against Charles Stanford, who was 6-3, and he stopped him brutally. It was brutal. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was brutal. I'm not. Let me see. Did I even post that thumbnail? Yeah. Let me. No. 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 I take that back. I take that back. I'm getting the fights confused. That was Evan Holyfield. But this is Ali Wash. He stopped his opponent, and then I think he dropped him again, and they end up stopping the fight. But he has a lot of growing to do. If you didn't see my pictures that I posted on IG, you probably saw me take a picture of Flavor Flav. Yeah, the co-founder of Public Enemy. Hip hop icon, legend in the game, hype man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, boy. I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, cool dude, man. Ali Wash is his godson. So I was wondering why Flavor Flav was there with the Ali Wash shirt on. So when I was back there, I say, "Hey Flav, can I holler at you for a second, man? I just want to know the connection with you and Ali. It doesn't have anything. Are you sponsoring his? What is your affiliation?" He says, "He's my godson." I say, "Okay." I really couldn't go into depth about anything else to boxing because Flavor Flav didn't know. But it was good to hear him kind of give me a backstory on why he was on that team and why I saw him with a Ali Wash shirt on. So it was good to see, the younger generation, man. I mean, it's just amazing sometimes. I just sit back and reflect. Me being in my 50s, I say, wow, Ali's grandson is boxing now. Unbelievable. Ali is since left us, and he has a grandson that is in the ring now. They brought him out in the all white garb. It was good. Like the cat is down to earth. He's cool, but we'll see how he progress, man. On to Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas, man. Keep your eye up on Xander, for real. Keep your eye on Xander Zayas. Looking at his entrance, like this picture that I took, looking at his entrance, doing introduction, Xander is a big dude. For real, Xander Zayas is a big fighter for 154. He holds his weight very well. When he does that swaying back and forth, his eyes has this evil like stare to him. Like, man, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. Get ready. Like, it's one of the coolest intros. You know what I'm saying? That's out right now. For real talk, it's one of the coolest out there. The way he sway back and forth with the Puerto Rican flag in the background waving, man. I liked it. I was like, damn. And then he goes in there and Xander, I would criticize fighters his age for doing what he's doing. He's 19 years old and he knows how to fight in the pocket, man. You know, I think of James Toney all the time, how educated his reflexes was without even looking at his opponent. He was going off feeling. Xander Zayas haven't got to a James Toney yet, but he does know how to operate on the inside. And with that said, is you have to apply how his work rate is on the inside. Not to mention he can box on the outside too, but on the inside. And he's throwing a good amount of punch combinational sets, which complements his cardio. Like he's constantly working. Xander is constantly working, bro. You got to respect this cat. He's a big 154 pounder, man. Real talk. I took a picture beside him, man. I'm thinking, you know what? You know, I'm like 235, 240. Xander come up here, he's a freaking super welterweight. I said, this dude isn't small. You know, he's solid. I don't think he's gonna be at super welterweight long. I'd be curious to know. You know, you got some heavy hitters at 54. I'd be curious to know with him being 11-0, and what's the hell going on with the belts and shit. I'm curious to know what the plan is for that division, because if Charlo has 3/4 of the belt, and then Brian Costano has his quarter, how long is those shit gonna be tied up? You know, I'm pretty sure boxing is gonna make a way for Xander Zayas to get a hold of a championship. Mark my word on that. They're gonna make this kid a world champion. And he's 19 years old, and he's going on his 6th fight this year. 6, y'all. He has his 6th fight. I'm not talking about when you coming up through the ranks and you fighting 6 and 7 times. He's fighting on a higher level. He's fighting on the top level. He's going in there for his 6th fight, man, at Madison Square Garden. Now you want to talk about a cool dude? Xander Zayas, man, he's gonna be a fan favorite. Mark my word. Mark my word, man. This dude is gonna be richer than than he ever imagined. If he doesn't get injured, or just his mind is just on a whole nother barometer, y'all. His mind is on a whole nother barometer right now. I mean, I've seen this dude online a lot, but having an opportunity to see him in person, shake his hand, size him up, see him fight, man, he's a special talent at 54. Now, I don't know how he'll do with fighters like Erickson Lubin, Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Charles Cromwell, Tony Harrison. It's just so many fighters at 154 now. I don't know. He's not ready for that type of competition. I don't know how many fights they're gonna allow him, but size wise, he's holding his weight well at 154. So shout out to Xander Zayas, bro. I mean, that dude's gonna be rich one day, and he's gonna make a lot of people in his family happy, for real. Because the way he operates in the ring, he seems like he's happy. Now, the only thing I can assume, not to be negative, is if he gets burnt out from taking these back-to-back fights. That's the only thing I can say. If Xander Zayas gets burnt out, he comes to a point, he hits a wall, and he said, I have to take some time off. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when athletes reach that stopping point of being burnt out, they really don't know the severity of it until they stop, they slow down, and then their body start going through some other changes that they didn't know about because they was just boom going full speed. But this guy right here, his lungs is crazy. So keep your eyes open for Xander Zayas. He is no joke. He is no joke. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican sensation, Xander Zayas, man. Um, Let me see. Did I post any other pictures of Xander? I don't think I posted any. Let me see. I have to have some other pictures up here. If you're not a fan of Xander, man, you might want to become one. Because that guy right there will be a superstar sooner or later. Real talk. Real talk. He's going to be a superstar sooner or later. I'm not BSing you. This is not a good picture. But if I would have went through the editing process, and that's another picture I took from ringside or whatever. But I really have to, like, when I edit these pictures, man, I just don't put them up without some type of edit. But yeah, you get the point, man. You get the point. Let's move on to Evan Holyfield. I'm pretty sure you all have seen this all over. Shout out to Mikey Williams, man. He has a better picture than I do, of course, because he's ringside near the apron. Evan Holyfield, bro. Oh my God. Evan Holyfield went in there against Charles Stanford. This was a big fight for him, of course. You're going in the hometown of the legend of Vander Holyfield. This is his offspring. This is his son. This is his seed. It's a lot of pressure for Evan to go in there and perform. Now, once again, Evan, to me, low key type of dude. In front of the mic, he talks. He talks a little bit or whatever. I don't have anything bad to say about Evan. You know what I'm saying? He is who he is. I didn't get a chance to interview him. Like everybody and their mama was trying to get a hold of Evan Holyfield. Evander was, in the building last night. All of that. So he fought a fighter. Which I got cross-threaded earlier, but he actually fought Charles Stanford. And I interviewed Charles Stanford because this guy's an MMA / boxer. He's with B League Management, right? And the guy was in good spirits because he said that people believe he's just a mixed martial artist and not a boxer. And I'll post a video up later on, but he's not the only fighter that I've interviewed before they stepped in the ring and the results was what they were. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and try to make fun of them or anything like that. He believed what he believed, and he came up there and fought. But as rounds went on, it's called making changes, collecting data, making adjustments, and that's what Evan Holyfield did. Now, this picture right here, I think was a little overboard. I think he was hyped up, being he was in the A. He was at home. That's kind of unsportsmanlike in my opinion. But I've seen worse in boxing. Real talk. I'm not gonna sit up here and goddamn try to be some principal and shit. Trying to be some camp counselor. I just felt like the dude was seriously knocked out. He was knocked out in a bad way. Real talk. Like, I think it didn't dawn on Evan and until he continued to lay down there stiff. But he stood over him, man. And I don't know what the hell he was saying to him, but it couldn't have been nice. But Evan got the job done. Like, it was a typical boxing match between these two. You had the MMA guy who was trying to enforce his will and strength. Mixed martial artists, they have this different type of technical discipline with mixed martial arts on how they close the distance on their opponent. Like there's very different training that goes on with these mixed martial artists. And Evan took some punches a little bit early on, but like I said, he made adjustments and he took his time and he landed the power shot that set him down, stretched him out. So salute to Evan Holyfield, young Holyfield, for getting this win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't mad at him. He has a lot of pressure. You know, he improved to 8-0 now, 6 knockouts. It's always good to get another knockout. He's 24 years old. So that was his second knockout in a row. You know, he's coming off Augustine Cicero, and now he knocked out Charles Stanford. Cicero was 15 wins, 18 losses, and 3 draws. Charles Stanford was 6-3, 6 victories and 3 defeats. So he's slowly but surely trying to increase his competition, because you're looking at an 0-1, 1-5, 1-0, 3-7, 2-3. You know what I'm saying? So Evan Holyfield, they're moving him slow enough for him to increase his competition. All right. Haven Brady, another Georgia fighter. Salute to Haven Brady. He good dude, man. You know, boxing doesn't really have anything like you run into a good fighter, a good boxer. I mean, I'm talking about attitude wise, technique wise, good. You know, it is what it is, right? But he was 3-0. I had the opportunity to interview Haven Brady at the Buckhead Fight Club, and I guess he was doing some work there or what have you. But he was in a tough fight against a Mexican fighter last night that was unrelenting. He ate Haven Brady's punches. He was dead set on proving a point. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you this Mexican was in there and he was hell bent on upsetting Haven Brady, and I believe this guy was he was undefeated too. This Mexican was undefeated too. Yes, indeed, he was undefeated too, and he won. So when he won, when the fight was going on, when I knew it was gonna be a probably a close decision, I didn't have any dispute with it. Like the fight was close. Real talk, these guys was banging it out, man. These guys was banging it out, and they was doing a damn good job with putting on the show. I just felt like the Mexican fighter was having success more with the influence of the judges with the heavier punches. You know what I'm saying? The pressure that he was applying. He was basically walking through Haven Brady, his punches. You know, that some judges look at that shit and they say, okay, he's not doing that much to his opponent, you know. He's not punishing him that much. You know, it's not any damage being done, but you know, we'll see. But here goes one of the photos, man, of Haven Brady in there. Um, I have some other photos, but I'm just not gonna post all of them on StreamYard. I'm gonna post them on Facebook, but this is not even one of the better photos, the money shot. Yeah, some, you know, shooting through the ropes can be a challenge. You know what I'm saying? It can be a challenge to get even the face and everything and the lighting. But yeah, shout out to Haven Brady, man. He's 3-1 right now. His opponent improves to 4-0. He just have to regroup, you know, get back in the gym. One loss, yeah, they say it doesn't determine the fighter, but it does have an impact on what they have going on, especially if they're trying to stay clean. They're trying to keep that record clean. You feel me? So that's a big part of it. Um, let me show you something right quick. Also had the opportunity to see Terrence Crawford down here in Georgia. Shout out to Team Crawford. Shout out to Bo Mac. Shout out to Bernie. Shout out to everybody that was down here from Team Crawford. Um, I want to give a big shout out to Granite City Boxing. Um, you know, the Lopez brothers that's up in there. You know what I'm saying? Hakeem, Najee, uh, K Champ. Give a big shout out to the 21-0 Brian Norman Jr., the assassin that's up in that camp. You know what I'm saying? They had a sparring session, a big sparring session. Shout out to Quinn Randall down here from Houston. They're following the Triller card. I interviewed him before he went in there and fought that night. When he was on the Triller card down here in Atlanta at Mercedes Benz. You had O'Shea Jones. She was down here, the Olympian, Pan Am gold medalist. She was in the building. I mean, it was so much Richardson Hitchens. You know, it was so many people in the building for this sparring. And it was a pleasure, man. Like, if I can, a lot of shit you cannot record or take pictures at the time, but you can mental catalog it. It allows you to be able to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It allows you to talk about the shit. So, the big talk was Brian Norman, who had just returned from Philly from sparring the one and only Jerome Boussinis. And we know Jerome Boussinis is on a tear right now. You know, he's that shining star just waiting his turn. You know what I'm saying? So Brian Norman Jr., man, returns from that sparring session, which his pops even told me that shit was tough. His pops even said it was tough. He said Jerome Ennis is the motherfucking truth. Boots is the truth. Period. No ifs, ands, but that's from Senior. So Terrence Crawford, I guess somehow, some way, I don't know the whole backstory. He saw the sparring. He said, I want some of that work. So Terrence Crawford showed up down here for fight week, and he wanted to drop in and get some work with Brian. So hold on for a second, man. Let me it's just a little short clip because I haven't had time to really get into my other videos just yet because I have to edit them. You know what I'm saying? But let me this is just a brief clip of what it was yesterday. All right. This is Granite City Boxing Academy.
Oh yeah, whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going, and if I ever fail to going up. I bet when I land, they gon' tell me it's luck again. See that I'm winning, it's harder to watch. Set the stage, you give me my props. You ain't got no soul, you lack in the spirit. You talk out your leg, I'ma show you I'm with it.
Was Richard Hitchison?
Watch me win again and win again and win again. I know it's probably getting on me when I'm sitting in. So if I ever win again, it's nobody but the minimum. I didn't have some soul. Please don't play no games with me. It was never about the fame to me. They needed the best, so they came to me. Who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who bring the vibe. Say, yeah, that's me. Who make it good, make it bang. Yeah, that's me. Who make the party feel alive. Tell them, yeah, that's me. I'm so proud of the boy when they get yeah, that's me. And if I'm taking a shot, I don't miss. Who knew I would be edited like this? And no one made my goals for me. But I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be. Cause it's the fat bag God chose me. So even if someone's close to me, I still won't let y'all close to me. So please step back where you supposed to be. Put the game on hold for me. And sit there, watch me roast to be. It's in my teeth, better than I'm in. And I'm so sick, I got the medicine. I'm way to the top, I can take my place. I went too hard, can't feel my face. Who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who bring the vibe. Say, yeah, that's me. Who make it good, make it bad.
Nope. So I just wanted to give y'all a brief look at that.
Simply so easy. You
Let's
could do it
skip this right here. So let me go back a little bit.
me down, I'm going, and if I
So I'm gonna mute this right quick. I want to show you some stuff. So right there, this is Brian Norman Jr. This is Brian Norman Jr., the one who just came back from Philly not too long ago, sparring Bruce Ennis. He's 21-0. Okay, he's a big deal. He's an up and coming star. He's just waiting his shot. His manager is Cameron Duncan. So that's Brian Norman Jr. right there. This guy right here, from my understanding, we're looking at some USA boxers. I think they still amateur. This is O'Shea Jones, the Pan Am gold medalist. First welterweight Pan Am gold medalist, American, I believe. You know, shout out to O'Shea Jones in the building. Wish we could have got that interview, but you know, it was, you know, she was focused on the sparring and it was once the damn sparring got started, there was no video cameras, anything like that. This guy right here I've interviewed over there in Philly, Richardson Hitchens. He's undefeated. Very sound fundamental boxer. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna continue to work himself up through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a slouch either. One thing I know about him, you know, he loved working off the jab. Fundamentally sound fighter, you know? This guy right here is Quentin Randall. I believe he's a super welterweight. I believe he's a super welterweight. And once again, USA fighter, I think amateur, you know. This guy right here, this is Hakeem. This is Hakeem Lopez. He's a professional fighter, undefeated, 11-0. This is his gym where he trains out of. Just give you some scoop, you know, of you know, getting to know these fighters and who they are, so you can speak on them. You know what I'm saying? This is once again Granite City Boxing Academy here in Atlanta. You know this guy right here, Terrence Bud Crawford, undisputed 3-time world heavyweight, not heavyweight, 3-time world champion, formerly undisputed at 140 pounds. Terrence Bud Crawford, man, you know, in here, you know, he warming up and everything. So another part of this where I think is special is because you get to see how people warm up for training, especially these world-class athletes. You get to see for your for the first time, you get to see for yourself because you just don't know. You see them performing in the ring or whatever sport they in, but you just don't know how they warm up and you know what their energy is like. Are they serious and stuff like that? Yeah, Crawford was up there. He was warming up, doing what he's doing. Also, world champion Steven Nelson. You know what I'm saying? He was in here. I think he sparred another fight in there. I didn't know his name exactly. But Stone Cold was in here. He was also at the fights last night. Let me see who else. Once again, that's Brian Norman right there. He sparred Bud Crawford. Bud stepped in there with Richardson Hitchens first. He sparred Hitchison 3 4-minute rounds. And then I believe he sparred Brian Norman Jr. 4 minute rounds. And of course, there go Bernie right there. Team Bud Crawford. Yeah. So just wanted to touch bases, kind of give you an idea. Man, it was a full weekend for me. Real talk. And also I want to give a shout out to another fighter. Um Let me try to pull him up. I want to give a shout out to another fighter right quick. That's out of Atlanta, Georgia. Um Matter of fact, give me 1 second, man. Oh damn. Let me go back up here. I want to give a shout out to two people right quick. Just give me a chance to pull them up. I want to give a shout out to Maybach Hot too. You know what I'm saying? Um he took his first loss of his career. He seemed in good spirits. And as far as the game plan goes, and he also trains out of Granite City Boxing. So I'm trying to find where I put his file at right quick. But yeah, he went in there against a tough opponent, man, who had a lot of experience, much more experience than he did. And he went all 6 rounds with him. His opponent had way more boxing experience and professional fights than he did. But he did what he did what he could do. He felt the fighter was holding a lot. And overall, he didn't feel that he applied the best offensive strategy. So, you know, stuff happened like that. It happens like that sometimes. It's boxing for real. Let's see. My fault, people. I can't believe I got damn. Hell is my shit at? Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. Damn. Let me show you this pic right quick. This is on Flavor Flav, Ali Wash, and the man himself, Sugar Hill. They was in the back. They was being interviewed, and they were just talking. It wasn't my interview, so I didn't get in on it. So check Blue Blood's channel for that. He was interviewing him. So I didn't tag along and get in on the interview because when you hear somebody else's voice and then you go post it, people be making a big deal. And I ain't about to cuss nobody out for all of us trying to get media shit done. You know what I'm saying? So before I place myself in a situation from experience, now this is from experience when I was just starting out. If somebody already has the interview, it depends on if it's a media scrum or if it's a one-on-one. If it's a one-on-one, respect wise, you're supposed to let them have that shit. Because if you get in on the interview and they're asking the questions and you edit out their voice, then it's kind of fucked up. It's not anything that's illegal. It's kind of fucked up because you basically took their content. So I just left it alone. I just took a picture and then I kept it moving. But if you want to see this, I'm pretty sure Blue is gonna post it on his site. He was interviewing Sugar Hill. I had my own interview with Sugar Hill. Um, I had to freaking salute him and give him his credit for the game plan they came up with. That's all. I mean, he'd never been a fan friendly favorite of mine, but when I saw him back there, he was much better than he was with Tyson Fury out in L.A. So I really had a chance to chop it up with him a good amount of time, man. Before I even turned the camera on, dog, he remembered who I was from the street because I was asking him the hard questions. I was trying to ask him some shit like, why did this and that? Why would Tyson Fury say that to Malik Scott that he can't, you know, train Deontay Wilder to do something that he haven't done himself? What about yourself? You haven't done it, But Sugar Hill, man, he was very he was very receptive, so to speak, in having a conversation about the fight. He didn't say anything negative. He was just up there saying that, what he believes in Tyson Fury, what he worked on, what he took from his uncle. He was very cool. And I was like, man, I have to give you credit for coming up with a better game plan that night. You all were the better fighter. You end up going in there, getting a stoppage with Deontay Wilder. And, it is what it is. I can't sit up here and come up with a freaking banded list of what I want or what I thought could have happened. No, you have to give the man his credit that they came in there and they was the better team that night. And they had the better fighter. Let me take that down. Carlos, man. Shout out to Carlos Jackson. Carlos Jackson 17-1. He has a fight coming up next week in New York. He's fighting Jonathan Guzman. I believe he's 23. Let me check the box rec right quick. 23-1. Let me check right quick. But shout out to Carlos Jackson, man. Real good dude, man. Real solid cat. He's a super bantamweight. He has a fight coming up next week. So expect to see him step in there with Jonathan Guzman, who's 24-1. 24-1. He's 26 years old. And he's from Dominican Republic, DR. So he'll be stepping in there. I know if you look on their box rec, it's not posted yet, but this is going to be on the fight card coming up next week in NYC. That's going to be the fight card with Jahai Tucker. Who is Jahai Tucker? He's going to be on that fight card too, with several other people. But I was just giving a shout out to Carlos Jackson that trains out of Elite Boxing down here in the ATL, man. Go get that victory, man. Let me get to some of these comments. D Hodges on deck. What's good? JA on deck. How you feeling, bro? Same way, Cameron. I guess Shakur knew that all along. Herring had absolutely nothing for that kid. He had a little bit. It just wasn't enough. Maybe he would have threw some goddamn Dijon mustard in his eye or something. Tell his trainer, put that mustard on the glove. Put the mustard on the glove. We gotta change this up. Herring up there asking them, put the mustard on it. And Bomac wasn't working Herring's corner. Hold on for a second. I'll take that back. Shakur said he heard Steve Nelson pretty much giving commands to Herring, and he said, okay, he playing, he was trying to counter them, he was giving him, advice, or he was telling him what to do, and he said, yeah, he heard him. And that's wild, because boxers will tell you, out of all the voices they hear the ones that they used to being around. Honestly, kid got a right hand light on his feet. Young Holy got real talent. Yeah, Young Holy, man, he got a ways to go. He has a lot of freaking history riding on his shoulders. So he's going to definitely have to stay in the win category. He's got to not let all the prestige, because look, I get the impression that J8 that Evander Holyfield is not easily impressed, dog. I hope he doesn't get discouraged, because it seems like his dad's not easily impressed because his son ain't did nothing. So we'll just keep an eye on Evan Holyfield. I feel it was a back at you. The guy came out from the opening bell and jumped all over Holyfield. Yeah. Yeah, man. Holyfield yelling over a scrub. Yeah, hey, I can't deny it, dog. He was yelling over a scrub, man. I cannot deny that. That's boxing, though. Look, you think he was yelling over a scrub? I've seen cats fight dudes straight off the couch, straight off the motherfucking weed house, straight out the trap house, straight off the motherfucking damn blow up mattress, and get a boxing license and come in there and they knock their ass out, man. And them motherfuckers be jumping all over the ring, jumping on the ropes like they knocked out a 5-time unified champion, dog. I'm serious, dog. That's how these cats be acting sometimes. Holyfield, Holy was like, whoa. He screamed that when who? Holy was like, who? He screamed that when they introduced him as well. What up, WCS? What's going on, OG? How you doing, D Hodges? D Hodges on deck with it. Free Hoover on deck. Salute, brother. Shakur going on Floyd Gotti Valdez, but Valdez still owe Kasakayo a rematch. Man, we talking about title for title there, Hoover. We talking about fights that matter. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about, the shoulda couldas or what could. I understand where you're coming from, real talk. But how many times will we have this conversation on so and so should run it back? Perfect example. Perfect example. We can say that about Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano. We're just talking about as of recent, because forget about Maestre and Fox. They should run it back, but Maestre don't want no parts of it. He said, "I'll forget that. I ain't doing that. Forget it. I don't have time for that." Hey, it's plenty of fights we look out there and they say, man, he should run it back with so and so. Real talk. They just should run it back because it's only fair. No, ain't nothing fair in boxing, man. We seen that already. Just with the WBC taking as long as they did to give Franchise Cruz to earn her title back after her opposition tested dirty. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you just don't get it back in the present. You got to fight for it, man. Come on now. Alexander on deck. What's good with you, bro? How you feeling? Shakur versus Colbert is the fight at 130. Hoover. Shakur would he would decimate goddamn Colbert. He's a way better boxer than Colbert, in my opinion. Would I watch the fight? Absolutely, I will. But I give Shakur, he's a way better fighter than Chris Colbert. Real talk. I'm not a Chris Colbert fan anyway. I'm not being biased, but I'm just saying, like, I see Chris Colbert is not ready for no Shakur Stevenson just yet, man. You think UFC 268 will outsell Plant versus Canelo? You know, it's a lot of MMA fans that people don't pay attention to. They need to, but you know, I try to tell them whatever, and it's up to them on what sport they choose to tune into. It's gonna do very solid numbers, though. I can tell you, man. People sleeping on mixed martial arts, especially the UFC and Bellator, because they just want to talk about the same topics of boxing. But if you look at mixed martial arts, they have the rotation. They have a lot going on. They have rotation of fighters in different matchups. It might be some names you heard, but they're constantly keeping them refreshed, keeping them coming to the cage to earn a living. Now, I'm not saying that the fighters' pay over there is astounding, but I'm just saying when it comes to the interest of the fans is out here, man, the UFC put on some fight cards every time you turn around. You know, you might see somebody get knocked out. Then they have 2, 3 more fights, and then they're back in title contention, man. They don't sit up here and stall nobody out for motherfucking 2 years and shit, and they holding a belt. You're fighting somebody. You're not just sitting up there holding the belt forever. Look, I know people gonna sit up here. What about Conor? See, Conor was different. Even he was stripped of his belts. But during that time, he made Dana White millions of dollars fighting Floyd Mayweather. Okay. But good question, man. You know, I mean, he made the UFC millions fighting Floyd Mayweather. So yes, you know, will it outsell Canelo and Caleb? Man, the two viewing groups, the audiences, two audience of these combat sports, man, are different. Seriously, man. And that's a hard question, man. You got Canelo, man. Canelo has a huge following, but he's not a PPV star. Canelo's supposed to be the top dog and everything, but where are the numbers to replicate that? How can we add these? How can we get these numbers together and see he even touches the top 5 PPV? Where is it? He's not touching what Floyd was able to do. You know what I'm saying? So he is a popular pound for pound fighter, but he ain't selling tickets like that. And then we know Caleb Plant isn't selling tickets like that. So I don't know, man. The UFC might do better views than Canelo and Caleb. Real talk. They might do better. The UFC 268 might do better. I'm just being honest, man. Let me try to. Man, I know that it's out here. Damn. Let me take. Wanted to show you a picture too. Another cap. Once again, shout out to Hot Rod, Maybach Hot, man. I ran into Albert Bell. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about a boxer? That's a boxer right there. I ran into him while I was giving I'm doing the interview for Hot Rod. So shout out to Hot Rod for that drop right there. That's Albert Bell, professional boxer. It seems like people don't want you to show your own stuff. I mean, it's boxing related, dog. I mean, come on, man. Like y'all tripping. If you had it, you would show it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a boxing media weekend. Just be patient. This ain't easy work. It's not freaking easy work, y'all. Here go a pick with Xander Zayas. A pick with Xander Zayas right there. But yeah, man, it's a lot that's going on in boxing. Let me check some out right quick. Yeah, okay. So pretty much, hold on. Man, I'm trying my best to find out where I put that. Wow. I'm trying to look up where this is crazy. Where did I put that at? Y'all give me a minute. Okay. Let me see. This is a picture of Olympian Duke Reagan, legendary Mike Stafford, Richardson Hitchens, and also the one and only Coach Levi, man, the cut man Levi. You know what I'm saying? They was also on deck. That's boxing history all across from left to right. That's boxing history right there, man. You have two young lions in the middle, then you have the old lions out there that's been working the game for quite some time, man. Shout out to Cincinnati boxing, with Coach Levi and Michael Stafford, man. Shout out to them cats. That's a lot of boxing history right there. Real talk. That's a lot of freaking boxing history. Maybach Hot, man, he was 8-0. Shout out to him. Another boxer that was coming up. Um, well known down here in the ATL, man, has a lot of media press, very connected. He stepped in there. He had the opportunity to fight on the biggest card of his professional career, and he made it to a decision. It was a fight that, it was some boxing in the early rounds, but a lot of holding, a lot of clinching from both fighters. Not enough work from the fighters, but his opponent had enough, activity to, throw some combinations periodically here and there, and kind of keep Hot Rod guessing. So you either got to make changes in a fight with 6 rounds or 4 rounds. You got to hurry up and make changes, and you got to apply it. So he mentioned it was a difficult fight to get adjusted to for him, but yeah, he'll be back in the gym. He go back to the drawing board. He didn't seem like he was he didn't say nothing bad about it. He just said you had to get back in the gym and make it happen and put that work in. It was good to see him fighting on the big stage, man. I know it was different type of lights for him. Real talk. That was a different type of light, man. Real talk. For anybody. I don't know if you've seen this fight right here. To be honest with you, I totally forgot both fight. Let me look at the card right quick. Let me look at the card so I can get this dude's name right. Troy Isley. Troy Isley 2-0. He fought Nikolai Navarro and basically cleaned his clock, man. Stupid knockout, man. Stupid knockout. Seriously. Let me pull up Troy Isley right quick. He's 3-0 now, obviously. He's 23 years old too, man. Keep an eye out for Troy Isley, man. Orthodox fighter, 5'10", 6'9.5" reach from Alexander, Virginia. Yeah, man, keep an eye out for him. But this is his weigh-in photo in case you know he's the one on the left. That's Troy Isley. Troy Isley. Keep your eyes out for him. You feel me? All right. Let me get back to the comments. Shakur ready for Haney and JoJo, but he ain't ready for T.O., Loma, and Tank. He ready for Haney and JoJo? I mean, y'all really... I mean, I don't even think he even mentioned Devin Haney. But that'd be a good fight because Devin Haney can box. Absolutely no doubt about it. That'd be what you call... they might negate each other. They both might cancel each other out, and we might go back to Tokakan Clary. We might go back, you know what I'm saying, to a stalemate, where you got two fighters just doing a whole lot of feinting and shit and back and forth posturing, yeah, man, those two can box. You'll see always outsell Canelo, nothing changing. Yeah, I see, Canelo is not, he's a big name in boxing, but he's not a PPV star, man. He isn't. Valdez a better boxer than Gotti, though. Yeah, he is. Gotti was a General Bob. He took a lot of freaking punishment, man. He was tough as hell. Valdez not going out like Gotti. I don't know, man. He fought with a broken jaw. You saying he get his towel, he get his corner to throw in the towel? You saying he get his corner to throw in the towel, man? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what we saying? He get his corner to throw in the towel. Hey man, did I even show y'all this pic? Probably not, right? It's just when I was hanging out in the hotel, man. Crawford was doing what Crawford does, man. Crawford's always look. I don't think I've been to a place where I haven't seen Crawford wrestling with his people. Like this is when they was in a full blown. They was in a full blown wrestling match outside the hotel elevator. This is in the lobby. But prior to that, I didn't. I think I have on video, but Crawford was kicking. You know, Crawford was kicking and kicking. I was gonna put it up, say Crawford gets jumped in hotel, and Richard, it would have been a solid one, but I don't put up clickbait like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't put on clickbait, but he did. He got jumped by his own boys though. That shit was funny as hell. That's Crawford in the red on the floor, man. His people just playing around, you know. But yeah, they always get the wrestling, man. I'm seriously, every time I seen them cats be wrestling, man. Him and his whole crew. So that's Crawford on the ground. You know, his people was in there wrestling in the hotel lobby. Just thought I'd share that with you. Shakur is elite. I agree with that, man. No way that I disagree with that. Shakur is elite. He is an elite fighter. Real talk. That we know for sure. And matter of fact, y'all already know who this cat is right here. This is Wally Moses, Shakur Stevenson's grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Been in his fighting career for quite some time. Yes, sir. But let's talk about this is gonna be my final topic, right? I want to get y'all input on something. I want to get your true input. I need your true feedback. Is there anyone in this chat with the amazing 5 million people tuned in? Do anyone in here believes that Rolando Romero has a chance? Does anyone believe Rolando Romero has a chance? Does he? I just need for you to let me know. Do you believe him going into this fight may not leave him in an incapacitated state of disability? Do you believe that his corner or the referee will be well advised ahead of time to ensure that Rolly Romero's career doesn't end in that ring? Because if there's any other fighter that can inflict damage to Rolly Romero, I'm talking about extensively, it's Tank Davis. Because I will say this several times over, I don't think Rolly knows, his brain doesn't allow him to know when the threshold is there for pain. So Javante can be goddamn landing punches on him, and Rolly's gonna keep on coming in doing the exact same thing. And Javante's gonna light his ass up, and Rolly's gonna keep on coming through the front door again. And then Javante gonna turn around and say, "Hey man, somebody get this motherfucker. This motherfucker crazy, dog. He don't have it all. I'm gonna end up killing this motherfucker, man. Stop it." Boom. They let the fight go. Rolly take punishment. You a bitch. Again. You ain't heard nothing, bitch. You can't punch. You know what I'm saying? Do you believe that Rolly Romero has a chance? Please provide your input. I want to hear, man, if y'all care to talk about it. Does he have a chance, man? Miss a Plant versus Canelo does on the 500K easily. They blame it on Fox PBC and Caleb Plant. Man, I'm not even worried. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to tune into the fight. Well, one thing that really never interests me is PPV numbers. Unless they did some astronomical, you know, PPV buys. It really don't interest me like that. I think the UFC fight. I mean, there might be a sleeper. Is Ngannou versus Gane, Syria Gane. That might be that's a sleeper. Real talk, that's a sleeper. Then of course you have the UFC 268. You have Kamaru Usman and Kobe Covington too, which um I would think there'd be more press on this like it was the first time, but Kobe Covington getting his jaw freaking broken. I don't know. I mean, does he have what it takes? They both have wrestling pedigree. They both can throw hands. We'll see how that works out, man. I mean, that card is gonna be fire. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fire. The reason why I'm saying it's gonna be fire because of this right here. Kamaru Usman look like he's unbeatable right now. Seriously. It looked like he's unbeatable, and the way he's been tearing through competition and getting the job done. I mean, real talk. This is people who talk shit to him. He had run in with freaking Jorge Masvidal before, and Jorge say, you this, that, and the other. Masvidal's a street legend, you know, fighter turned in mixed martial arts, but Usman knocked his ass out. Same with Kobe Covington, broke his jaw. Can he be beat? I don't know, man. Like, I don't like saying that anything possible. I like to really know what the fighters are about to determine that. But Usman got the best of him the first time. And then you have my girl, Thug Rose Namajunas. Rose Namajunas, man, is one of my favorite mixed martial artists, male or female. She's one of my favorite. You have a title fight in the welterweight division against Usman and Covington. Then you have Namajunas against Zhang too. Look, other people should be in that slot. And this is why I say pay attention to the audience. Pay attention to how the UFC do things, because Zhang was knocked out in the first round from a high kick, a left high kick from Namajunas. This is a title fight. She lost her title, but the UFC turns around and give her another shot at her title after she was knocked out in the first round. Who does that? I don't think boxing does it. You can't tell me boxing is going to turn back around in a matter of months and give you another title shot after being knocked out in the first round. It may happen sooner or later, but not on a basis. You know what I'm saying? So you have the Chinese star Wally Zhang, who picked up the title from Jessica Andrade. You remember that Jessica Andrade picked it up from Thug Rose Namajunas. She picked her up and dumped her on the head and won the title. And then Jessica Andrade attempted to use that type of forward pressure on Wally Zhang and was knocked the fuck out. Wally Zhang goes back in there with Rose Namajunas, who lost to Jessica Andrade from being dumped on the head, and she high kicks her and knocks her out in the first fucking round, dog. This is unbelievable. That's why people tune in to the UFC. And then you got my boy Showtime. I mean, the highlight Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is going in there against the one and only Michael Chandler, dog. Michael Chandler, former world champion over there at Bellator, came over here, knocked out freaking Dan Hooker in the first round. and got his shot, man, and was crushed. He was crushed. You know, he went in there against Charles Oliveira. He got beat. So now Justin Gaethje, who also had a title shot to step in there with Khabib to make a Madoff, he was subbed out in the second round. He gets to turn around, and comes in here and pretty much fight another fighter who came from a neighboring organization. Justin Gaethje came from the World Series of Fighting, and of course Michael Chandler came from Bellator. Both of these guys came over here and suffered losses. Justin Gaethje said he didn't want to fight no subpar fighters, so they put him in there against Dustin Poirier and Eddie Alvarez. He took 2 L's, and then it took him a little bit of time to recover. He came back and had one of the best performances ever against Tony Ferguson. And then he goes in there and he loses in the second round to Khabib, who took it easy on him. He didn't even punish him when he had him on the ground. And Michael Chandler, man, this is gonna be good. I wonder if he's gonna basically, attempt to change levels all the time, go for takedowns. A lot of people thought Justin Gaethje had good wrestling skills, but shit, Khabib was able to take him down at will. But the champion now, Charles Oliveira, he's the champion, not Khabib. So it's gonna be a pretty good card, November 6th, man. PPV. Tune in for it. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a quick rundown of this card. Frankie Edgar, the former world champion Frankie Edgar, he's still being put on cards, man. Did you see how Frankie was knocked out stiff by Corey Sandhagen? I'm going off shit that's in my mental catalog, y'all. Fights that I watch. Did you see Frankie the Answer Edgar get starched with a flying knee by Corey Sandhagen? Oh my God. He's on the card. He's facing Marlon Vera. Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantillo. Who else? Alaquinta versus Bobby Green. Ooh, Alaquinta stepping in there against Bobby Green. That's going to be nice. Bobby Green's one of my favorite fighters too, man. The way he fights, dude has a style that only he can fight. Because they don't teach you to hold your hands down by your waist and still pop the jab the way he does. Shout out to Bobby Green for perfecting whatever style he has. It works for him sometimes, and sometimes it don't, man. Yeah. Yeah. Just because somebody mentioned it, I freaking talked about the card. So, yes, man. Rolly just selling the fight, but once that bell ring on December 5th, he will meet that pit bull Tank. He can't talk his way out of it. Let's not talk about talking, Ken, because that's my whole point for asking. That was the worst press conference. I put that press conference on the pound for pound worst than freaking Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and KSI. I put that shit on the worst presser ever. This guy was supposedly told by Floyd Mayweather to wear that mink jacket, no shirt underneath, shades, and whatever else he had going on. He gets behind the mic and says, "I'm gonna knock you out, bitch." With them T-Rex arms, my dick longer than that. That has to be the most dumbest shit I've heard. Besides, what's his name? And at least he was convicted with his shit. He was dedicated to saying that shit. The dude that fought Mike Tyson, man. The dude that fought Mike Tyson back in the day, the white dude. I gotta look it up now. I have to look him up, man. I have to look him up. For real. think he was Italian. What was his name? Come on. Peter McNeely. Peter freaking McNeely. This dude right here. Oh my God. I had him at my top pound for pound worst pressers. But hey, whatever. I'm surprised it's not Tank versus Pitbull Cruz. So Hoover, you think Cruz has earned a shot at Tank just because he has a fighting style like Mike Tyson and whatever freaking transformer that you want to, Marvel comic that people want to admire? Do you think Isaac Cruz has earned his shot at Tank because he he want to move forward and take punches and be tough? Tank will destroy Cruz. If Cruz is gonna believe that he's gonna have that same plan, that same mentality to come forward on Tank and throw punches like that and get hit in the face and keep going and keep going and keep going, he's no different than Rolly, except that he throw better punches. Isaac Cruz, in some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna tell you to you like this: Isaac Cruz is a better brawler than Rolly Romero. But both of them like taking punches to the motherfucking face. Right or wrong. Both of them guys love taking punches, man. I don't know if he's gonna have a long career, man. He's very entertaining. I like the Pitbull Cruz. But dude, how long do you think your career is gonna last being squared up like that and coming in there throwing bombs? And what's amazing about him, his cardio is pretty damn good for throwing bombs like that. He has pretty good gas tank, man. His bags are good. I like this fight for Tank and Rolly. What? Did he just say that shit? I like this fight for Tank and Rolly. Tank coming off two tough fights, dropping to 130 for Leo, then going up to 140 for Barrios. Rolly a soft touch. Better fight for Tank right now. Cruz not ready. Okay, I'll take that. I should read the entire thing first. I respect that. I respect that. He did, in some way, shape, or form, have a tough fight while it lasted against Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? And then move up and face Mario Barrios, which gave him, Mario Barrios gave him that work. For real. Mario, the Aztec warrior, man, he gave him that work. He didn't back down, man. So, shout out to Mario Barrios, man, Aztec warrior. But I agree with that. But partially, I'm saying once again, if Rolly Romero is going to be a soft touch for Tank, who's going to be ringside to stop the fight? How much punishment are they going to allow Rolly Romero to take just because he's tough? Or Tank might knock his ass cold the fuck out. He don't have an option to be tough, but he has an option to sleep. He may not have an option to be tough anymore because he's sleeping. And when you don't have an option to wake up, then the referee called the fight. That might be it right there, Mitch. Logan versus KSI can't even qualify for worse. Yes, it can. Because you know why it can? Because the zone decided that it was a good idea to put that shit on TV. They decided. Jose Utatsuki, I always get his name screwed up, said Plant not strong enough to last with Canelo, although Plant outclassed and knocked him down several times. Well, look at it this way, Mitch. Jose, he bitter. Plant knocked his ass down several times, and not only that, he probably has something with the brothers anyway. Since Darrell's uncle went over there and punched him with no gloves on, just goddamn bare knuckle punched him in the face because he kept hitting after the bell. So Uzkostegi, he's probably feeling some type of way about the brothers right now. You know what I'm saying? And you say, well, how does that deal with Caleb Plant? A lot of people think Caleb Plant a brother. I'm just saying, dog. A lot of people, believe Caleb Plant got some black in him, dog. So he's probably bitter. His ass got stopped by Caleb Plant. So whatever, dog. His ass got beat up, man. Easy work. And check this out, Mitch. When I was down here on the tank card, I saw Uskostigi fight Lionel Thompson. I actually interviewed Lionel Thompson in Baltimore, Maryland when I went up there for the tank fight. Lionel Thompson knocked down Uskostigi several times. So he's mad right now. The dude looks the part, but somehow, some way, he at a point in his career where he can't stay on his feet, man. Especially when punches are basically on his chin. I honestly want to see Rolly versus Cruz. I do too, man. I mentioned that earlier, months ago in the live. After he was coming off that fight, I forgot who he was fighting, but I said I'd rather see Isaac Cruz versus Rolly rather than I would like to see Tank versus Rolly. But Floyd Mayweather all about the money. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather's all about this money. So he's not gonna put him in there with Isaac Cruz, who don't too many people know who he is, but they know who Tank is. So why not feed the pit bull? Boom. The real pit bull. El Foul player on deck. What's good? Um, even though me and him are Marines, I never was too um I never was too much of a fan of his fighting style, but I was going for Shakur Stevenson though. I wasn't rooting for Jamel Herring to lose. I just wanted a good fight. Um, I just never was a fan of his style. I mean, just like that's the Jamel I see sometimes. I just never was a fan of Jamel Herring's style. That's all. He's a good dude though. You know what I'm saying? He cool. Tank said, "What do that mean?" Yeah, man, I remember him saying that shit. What that mean? He know what it mean. He know what it mean. But look, let's acknowledge one thing about Tank. It was a point in time where they were saying Tank sounded just like Rolly Romero. He couldn't speak. He didn't speak. This, that, and the other. Now, Tank is opening up a lot more. He's speaking to the media. Seriously, he's knowing how to engage post fight conferences. He's doing well. Rolly Romero, on the other hand, I don't think we truly have to worry about how he speaks to the media, because I don't think it's going to be too many other times where he's going to even be allowed to speak to the media. I don't think so. I mean, they're gonna be like, "Hey," Floyd gonna be like, "Hey, what's the interpreter? Anybody seen them? They eating. Where's the other one? We want somebody. Yeah, you got to go in there with him, man, so you can pretty much be the subtitles. We need for somebody to sit next to Rolly and be his verbal subtitles. Okay, all right. Don't let that motherfucker go in there by himself, man. Hell no, hell no. We can't do that. Uskowski had Plant looking like Pernell Whitaker. Yeah, man, he couldn't do no wrong in that fight. Very, very good fight. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. I thought it'd be more competitive when he started dropping them like that. I said, wow, some and looking back at it from Plant to the rail to Lionel Thompson. I mean, he might have had his go. He might retire from the sport that way. Just as a single division world champ, man. I think that was after Cruz starched Magdaleno like your Uncle Church slacks. Could he starch Magdaleno like a pair of church slacks? I don't know. Maybe an old pair of jeans even they wouldn't stand up like this. Look, I don't know. That might be similar, bro. Cause I was there. Oh my God, he stood. I was there, man. I saw the punches he was landing on Diego Magdaleno, man. Whoo, that shit was hard. I was like, damn, somebody. It reminded me of the Rocky scene. Throw in the damn towel. Throw in the damn towel. Throw in the damn towel. God damn it, throw in the damn towel. Y'all let Diego Magdaleno get his ass whooped like that. Throw in the damn towel. Get their credentials. Get their credentials. Get them out of here. Get Team Magdaleno credentials. Get them out of here. They was goddamn about to call the coroner up in that mud. The only thing about it, he started, he was really landing punches to the body. And he just started digging. Bah, bah, bah. Then he started going, and Magdaleno was just like stuck. He couldn't even get out the motherfucking corner, dog. Yeah, I like to see Cruz Rolly rather than Tank Rolly. Because both of them have this stubbornness about them that they want to keep on doing the same shit. Forward, punch, power, punch, power, forward, power, punch. You know what I'm saying? That's what they like doing. Last night card was really solid. What do you think of the potential of Xander? Like I said earlier, man, Xander Zayas has unlimited potential in boxing. I think he's fairly a big super welterweight right now. He holds the weight like it's supposed to. You look in his eyes, he's a different type dude, man. He's 19 years old. Some people forget that by the way he boxes. But he's a strong dude. You can tell, man. Like you can tell Xander has, unlimited potential to excel in this sport. But like I also said, the foul player is the fact that he's about to go into his sixth fight this year. He has his next fight in December at Madison Square Garden. Are they going to continue to the freaking spin tires and do burnouts with Xander? Put him in there and get the win. He's already 11-0. He's 19 years old. It's going to come upon a time when he's going to have to slow down and take some soft touches and then get back in there with the big name. I like his fighting style. He really put a lot of punches together. Like, look, with Xander, he's never in a position where he's just there doing nothing. Like if he's in any type of position where he's close to his opponent, to the side, whatever, he's working. If he's boxing on the outside, he's working. Not everybody does that. They have to wait to the right moment. But Xander, you really can't take no breathers with him. His hands is constantly busy, man. They're always twitching, doing something. Like he's putting combinations together. He's very exciting to watch, man. Puerto Rico, man, I'm telling you, that dude, if he keeps this up and he's able to continue his win streak without getting injured, Xander Zayas, man, he's gonna do big thing in boxing. Real talk. He's gonna do big things in boxing, man. I'm telling you. "19 years old. He has a lot behind him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Michael Williams Jr., man. He's a youngin' in the game too. He's 19-0. He has a big fight coming up on the card too. Stay tuned for that announcement. Way too much stock was put into Frampton win for Herring. Frampton was done in extra small. Yeah, he got smashed, man, in 2 rounds. Starts like a clean BDU. Yeah, them BDUs used to stand up, right? Them old school BDUs. I'm talking about them old school BDUs when you came in the 80s. When you was in here in the 80s and 90s, you had the old camouflage. You take them and you say extra, that heavy starch. And you take them motherfuckers off the hanger, they just stand up and shit. Come back. I pair Cruz with Tank cause Floyd in-house statement about Tank. Absolutely. Give Cruz a few more KOs, and the Latinos would think he can fuck with Tank. Yeah. I mean, it's some of them out there probably think he can now because of his toughness. For real. Because his toughness, they think, he can fuck with Tank. You have to think about it. Teofimo Lopez picked up the titles, right? And before he even picked up the titles, he stopped Magdaleno in 7 rounds. But Isaac Cruz crushed Magdaleno. This is after Magdaleno came off from going in there defeating Austin Delay. You know what I'm saying? Like in that fight, I just felt like Magdaleno had dog in him, and Delay won't be able to handle that as the rounds went on. And I was right. He ended up getting that win. But then, you get in here with the motherfucking Tasmanian freaking badger like Isaac Cruz. Cruz does not have a stop button. He does not have a break. This dude is unfreaking believable at this point in time to come forward with the pressure and the punching sustainability that he has, dog. But if he gets in there with a boxer with power like Tank, I'm talking about someone who can hit him from different angles and land those check left hooks. It's gonna be crucial for him because he's gonna be in the whole entire fight. He's gonna be trying to find himself. He's gonna be off balance because he think he's just gonna sit Tank up against the ropes and start welling away like he did Magdaleno. That shit ain't gonna happen. Tank will land. Look, he will send that uppercut like goddamn FedEx mail. He was sitting that motherfucker, no signature required. That motherfucker already signed. Bitch, you want to put me up against the ropes and keep on pressuring me with the same way, just like Leo Santa Cruz did? I'm going to send this uppercut your way. And that's exactly what Tank would do. See, that's the fucked up part about these pressure fighters, right? They come forward, but they only have one thing on their mind: offense. So when they finally get cracked, their whole point is to see, okay, how bad did it hurt? If they're conscious to know it, how bad was it? Can I sustain it again? Did it affect me? Am I good? And then if it didn't affect them, they'll continue to come. Boom. We know how Gervonta sends that damn uppercut, dog. He winds that bitch up and send it, man. He motherfucking sealed them motherfuckers up and shipped their ass off. Just ask Leo Santa Cruz, man. Send them to the upper room, dog. I'm definitely tuning in for that fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, check this out. I would rather see. No, I'm gonna keep my mouth closed on that. No. I'm not gonna put that out there. Hell no. Xander has another 4 years like Belanga. Check this out, Hoover. Belanga is no Xander. Let's get that straight. So tell me, who has better boxing skills? Zayas or Belanga? Who has better boxing skills? Who has better boxing skills? I'll tell you, I believe Zayas has better boxing skills than Belanga. Belanga was knocking motherfuckers out in the first round until he ran into a seasoned fighter, went the distance, and then stepped in there with another one and got dropped. I'm not saying Zayas cannot get dropped. I'm saying he has better boxing skills than Edgar Belanga. We agree? Disagree? Let me know, man. But as far as 4 years, I don't know, man. I don't 4 years before he even touched a title. Right now, I doubt it's that far off, man. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say he doesn't have 4 years, man. If he continue to wins the way he does and put on these performances, that stay healthy, improve. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so, man. I think it's gonna be much less time than that. That's what I believe, man. Um, Zayas, but they both reeking hype jobs. Oh shit! You think Zayas is a Puerto Rican hype job? How, bro? I disagree with that on both of them. I think I disagree with that. Now, 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 now. I know you're talking about more so Edgar Berlanga, but look at it this way, Hoover. Look at it this way. When you're knocking cats out in the first round, whether they're canned goods or not, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Just like Crawford, they look at his resume at 147. They wasn't this, that, and that. Okay, if they wasn't, he did what he had to do. He stopped them. It don't matter what round it in, right? But Langer steps in there with Demond Nichols, and he knocked him down several times, but still went the distance. Okay, boom, get that out the way. He's still considered a pretty decent boxer. Then he gets in there with his last opponent, very tough, durable guy, and get dropped. He still won the fight, but he got dropped. Now the Wall Street decreases and goes down just even more because now they're questioning his boxing skills even more because they say, okay, you can't get Demond Nichols out of there. You really don't have power. And then you go in here against another guy that you're saying to yourself, like, okay, he drops you. Can you get up and finish the fight? It's a lot of big question marks about how good really is Edgar Berlanga. I wouldn't cut him short right now though. Hype job, yeah, it might be a little bit more hype than it needs to be with Edgar, but Zayas, of course, we can't sit up here and say he's a superstar. He's 11-0, man. He been running the map. He's running everywhere right now. He's picking up these wins, but he's doing it in just such a type of speed and intensity and technical discipline that people are going to tune in and watch him. He's not reckless, rambunctious, be making dumbass decisions, losing focus in a fight. He seems to be coming in this motherfucker with a purpose. And that purpose is his motivation to do well. That's what it seems like to me, man. How you see Rosado versus Munguia? Hoover, on this Sunday, my brother, I ask that you not speak of sin of such. Even boxing is not considered a sport of religion and ethics. But when I tell you, my brother Rosado and Munguia is at the bottom of my thought process. When I say the bottom, I'm not thinking about these two fighters at all. I just seen one of them go in there and do what I thought he wasn't gonna do, and get stopped again after I believed that he had a better chance. You know what I'm saying? To put in work against Lubin. No, Munguia. Do we really know who he is? Look, Munguia is like the Zorro of fucking boxing, dog. Do anybody really know what he's doing? He just pops up and it's a fight. Do anybody know what Hami Munguia is doing? This dude, look, I've never seen anyone move from division to division. No one knows he's moving from division to division. He'll pick up a belt, move. He'll pick up a belt, move. I'm not really. Let me look some up right quick. I'm gonna tell you, it's not like Homie McGill did anything to me. I'm just saying, like, when they mention his name, I just don't get all hyped up to know what the fuck is going on with this dude. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, dog. I don't know. I'm trying to look something up right quick. This is crazy too, right? Homie McGee is 37-0, 30 knockouts. That's crazy. No one knows what the fuck he's doing. His most notable was Saddam Ali, dog. He went in there and smashed Saddam Ali. Then you look at the Liam Smiths, the Brandon Cooks. Man, stop it. Stop it, man. Good question, though. Good question. Solid question, bro. Like, that's the Zorro of boxing right there, Homie McGee, man. Between him and Zerto, Gilberto Ramirez, they the Zorro of boxing, for real. That's how Valdez sent Burchell ass into suspension, coming forward for no damn reason. Yeah, Burchell thought he was going to use all that strength, and Valdez landed the money shot. That was a motherfucking money shot right there. Berlanga will be done in 4 years. Wow, y'all basically sealing y'all basically predicting his retirement. Y'all saying this man is going to be at the retirement office. Hey, uh, I Edgar. Yeah. Did any positions? Man, I don't know, bro. Damn, Munguia about to beat the dog shit out of Rosado. Damn. Let me check something out. To be honest, man, like I have not paid attention to McGill. Like when I see McGill's name pop up, even though I look at a lot of fighters, I do. Hold up, is this the same dude I seen last night? Oh shit, was that him? No, that can't be him over here in the States. Fuck no. I don't think he's over here in the States getting ready for a fight. Okay. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's a fighter, I'm not interested in talking about. That's Tommy McGee, man. Like maybe if he fight Triple G or something or whatever, yeah, let them beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, I get it. McGill would stop Rosado. Too much output for Rosado and solid chin to take Rosado punches. Solid chin to take Rosado punches. Um, which Rosado he's fighting, man? I don't even know about this fight. I usually do, but when it comes to Hami McGill, which Rosado you talking about, man? Which Rosado are you speaking on? Please enlighten me. Please enlighten me. So I can know if we're both on the same name. Let me see can I find it in the timeline. Eddie Hearns up here talking about Anthony Joshua is not split. Nobody gives a fuck. He split with McCracken or not. He's over here in the States right now. Let me see. Where's this fight at, man? I'm trying to find it since it's been brought up. Trying to find it. Which Rosado, Mitch? His first name. What's his I just want to verify. What's his first name, man? What's his first name? Anybody know? Mungia would stop Rosado. Too much output for Rosado and a solid chin to take it. I like the Rosado resurgence. Oh, Gabe Rosado. I'm speaking of the wrong person then. I'm speaking of the wrong person. But with Gabe Rosado, right? It's a certain level of respect I got for Gabe. I think he fought well. He did fight well against Daniel Jacobs. But once again, you're talking about Danny Jacobs, another fighter who I don't have too much. Daniel Jacobs is not a guy who's doing anything bad. It's just he gives me that Sean Porter vibe. He gives me that Sean Porter vibe, man. Like they're doing just enough to compete right now. Gabe Rosado, this is a big fight for him. I just don't want to see the old Gabe that was in a bloodbath. Even though it's been years ago, he always speak on it. He always say, "Man, that's been years ago." Bleeding like that. The man's been on Creed and shit like that. I like Rosado, man. He's one of those cats. I probably definitely when I see him in person, I'll say, "Man, can I get a pick, man?" You know what I'm saying? I'm going for Gabe in this fight. But Hummy McGill once again is undefeated. Hummy can box. He's not a fan of mine. I don't know who the fuck Hummy McGill is as a relation to a human being, really. Like I've seen some of his fights, but he just don't pique my interest at all. Like this man is you talking about flying under the fucking radar? That's Hummy McGill, man. I like the matchup. I just don't want it to be a fucking crimson bloodbath with Rosado in there taking crazy punishment from this dude. I want him to fight and be defensively sound, keep correct distance like he did Daniel Jacobs, and put his combinations together, man, and really get in and out on Hummy McGill. Because Hummy McGill is about that. McGill is about, giving you that pressure and giving you the smoke. I'm just not a Hummy McGill fan, man. Gabe Rosado remind me of Gotti. I know he remind me of Gotti there Hoover when he used to bleed like that. Like them motherfuckers get punched the fuck out, dog. I can't say this. He did not take as much punishment as I thought against Danny Jacobs. I can say I was shocked. I can say I was totally shocked. Real talk, I was shocked. But that's besides the fucking point. He still can, and going into this fight, it can end bad. It can go right back to the Rosado that we used to see bleed out like a motherfucking turnip. You know what I'm saying? For real. Bleed out like that time of the month, goddamn it. Rosado might bleed out like that time of the fucking month, dog. Man. But man, I've been on here for like 2+ hours, man. Rosado goes in the ring bleeding. Yeah, man. Rosado started bleeding just like Kevin Kelly's eyes started to swell up. And he ain't got to the ring yet. They just out there just shadow boxing. They say, "Hey, cut man, Stitch, come over here, man. Put some ice on his eyes. They swelling up. We just hit mitts." And Stitch Duran coming at Kevin. Man, what's wrong with your eyes, man? They're just getting puffy for no reason. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, man. Just wait till I go to the ring, though, man. Do me a favor. When we start doing this ring walk, man, just make sure you stay close by, man. Pat my eye here and there with some ice. Them things start to puff up before I even get in the ring. For real. God damn, dog. His eye, if you have an interview with Kevin Kelly and start mentioning Prince Ahmed, that motherfucking eye start swelling up, god damn it. Larry, I'm the best there is, Larry. But we'll see how that fight goes, man. And also, man, Carissa Shields has her second MMA fight coming up, man. I gotta show love to the GOAT. Carissa Shields has her second mixed martial arts fight. Um, I'm definitely not sold on anything she has going right now in mixed martial arts, but I am hoping her nothing but the best when she continues to develop her mixed martial art game. She hasn't did anything in mixed martial arts yet, so that shit with her opponent, I thought it was BS. Her first opponent, I thought it was BS. Me knowing what I know about grappling, her opponent let go of something that grappling is a contact, a point to point contact, position first, submission second. She had the position for an armbar. She had the position. All she had to do was what she knows and been taught that comes natural. And she let the arm go. And then Carissa got on top and started punching. That was bullshit. That's stuff you do once you in there rolling. You on mat time, right? And you in there moving around with someone, and they're in a bad position, but you're not trying to injure them, so you let them out of it so they continue to go, and y'all just move around on the mat. We'll see what's up, man. Gabe Rosado. Well, that's about it, man. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. I have to get to editing some of these videos and putting them out there. I did get an interview with Sugar Hill. It wasn't a lot of big names. Like, it was so many names to get an interview in the sparring session, but they was focused on sparring, and that's the worst place when the music's playing. Is loud in there to think you're gonna get an interview. And also, there's no way that I can get an interview. I don't do interviews anymore inside the arena because they get copyright. So it's not like I'm going to extract the music from the audio. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the person talking in the music, you extract one and not the other. They'll copyright your shit quick. So it's really pointless to try to get an interview inside the arena. Now, if you can make it happen outside in the hallway, cool. That's cool. Or at the weigh-ins, but after the weigh-ins, man, most of these fighters are trying to get something to eat. So you have to wait around the hotel to see can you get an interview. This was a lot different than a Tank situation because it just seems like it was a lot more fighters accessible for interviews than this one. It just seems like most of the fighters that was here, they was competing on the card. They was competing on the card. You know what I'm saying? So, and I saw some people that was on deck for YouTube. Shout out to the LDBC members that was down here. They was down here in the spot. Supreme Beast Boxing, Junior the Truth, I Am Your Will. I forgot the cat name, but shout out to Town Biz too. He's not LDBC, but shout out to Town Biz. He was in there. But yeah, LDBC was down here once again in the ATL, man. Shout out to them for supporting the sport. Oh, Blue Blood was down here also. He wasn't at the dinner though that they had. But yeah, and myself, I'm down here in Atlanta. Continue to grind it out, trying to get back in the groove of things. Support the channel. You know what I'm saying? And those of you that's in the Atlanta area, continue to look up these fighters, man, and get more exposure out there for these fighters that's in the local area. You know what I'm saying? Till next time, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.